Welcome guys. In this video, I am going to tell you about some of the basic techniques of debugging your code. As you go along on your programming, inevitably you will run into little areas of inconsistency called bugs in your program. So, what are the techniques to address or fix those bugs? I will be giving you some of the basic tips and tricks so that you can use them in your competitive programming and fix those bugs easily. I'm telling you guys, if you aren't aware of such basic techniques, you are definitely going to spend hours catching those bugs. So please watch this video with me till the end and find out the most efficient ways to catch your bugs in real quick time. Starting with the first and the most basic technique that most of us use in their usual coding practice, it's a dry run. In dry run, what we do, we take any input case and we feed it into our code, and then we keep on updating the values of the variables as they go on changing and writing them on a piece of paper. As we move down on in our code, if we find that the values are updated inaccurately or incorrectly, or somewhere in the code the array value or something has given you unexpected results, then you can easily find out where the bug is and you can fix that. So it's pretty easy, we all use that, and it's always advisable to always take such cases that cover the edge cases as well, because pretty often it happens that your code is running for few sample test cases but failing for the other. So that often happens when you haven't taken care of the edge cases. So dry run was the first one. Next comes the print statement. Let's see how we can use print statements in our code to find out the errors. Print statements, you can use printing variables or array values as well in between your code. What will that do? That will make sure that the code that is above that is correct or not. If you find that the printed variable value not according to what you have calculated, then you can easily find that the code above that print statement is wrong. So here I have taken an example where we are using three functions in our code: function 1, function 2, and function 3. And what happens that the output of the function 1 is fed into function 2, and the output of the function 2 is fed into function 3. So if we find an error in this code, how to fix it? Whether we need to go throughout the all functions, or can we use some other optimization techniques? So best is to use print statements between function 1, 2, and 3, so that if you find that after function 1 the value printed is not according to what it was desired, you can easily make sure that the error was in function 1 and you can fix this. So using print statement, what it does, it divides the code into various subsections so that you can easily find the error in those subsections rather than going throughout the code. Similarly, it's not important that different statements are used only when you are using multiple functions. Even if there is a big block of code, a single block, you can use print statements in between to divide it into various subsections, and then you can find the error. Next, we go on to commenting things out. It works a bit like print statements, but it's pretty fast than print statement. We just have to use the comments, and it helps us a lot. It also divides the code into various sections, like if you are pretty sure that this function is correct, this logic of this function is correct, you can use comment this function out. You have calculated a value by yourself, now you have commented things out that this function will return this value. I'm pretty sure that it's working correctly, so you have commented this out. You don't have to worry about this. Now if you find that the output is according to what you expected, then you are pretty sure that the error is in this function. So it has worked a bit like print statement. So in this way also, you can divide the code into several blocks and then check out the errors in the all the subsections. So these were the few basic techniques that we often use while debugging our code. You always try to use them, because if you aren't using the right technique, it may happen that you are spending a lot of your time and energy in just finding out the error. So There are other techniques as well, but as a competitive programmer, these are the basic ones, and I think for I don't use anything other than this, and it's enough for you to crack interviews if you're in your college life. So that was it. Now I'll discuss about the common errors that we get while we are, writing a piece of code. First one is time limit exceeded TLE, which is very common. We always encounter this. Usually happens when our code is not optimized. The requirement is to solve the code in O(n) time, the linear time complexity, and we are solving it in O(n) square. So the solution, the your code won't give any result, and it will just give TLE. So this happens when you're solving on some website or you are given a competitive exam programming competition. Then it really happens. It usually happens. Sometimes I feel like your code is really fulfilling the requirements. It has the same time complexity as it was asked, but still it's giving TLE. Why does it happen? It happens because you are running a loop which is running infinitely many times. The terminating condition is not met. There is some logical error, or some of the test cases is not satisfying the terminating conditions, and in those cases also it will give you TLE. So now you know how to fix them. The second common error is out of bound. This happens when you have got a particular large input value, and you are performing some operation in which the value exceeds the maximum value that an integer can hold. In those cases, you will definitely get unexpected results. So it's advisable to use long or use the modular properties to avoid them. You might have often seen that you are required to give the answer modulo 10 to the power 7 or something like that. So in those cases, it's really recommended to use the modular properties in whenever you do operations with those large numbers. So in this way you can avoid this, and definitely if you access value out of range, then it's going to give you an error or maybe some unexpected values. Because if you have declared an array of size 5 and then you are making use of the value of the position 6th position or 7th position, then it has no logic and it will give an error. So guys, that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will definitely recommend you to follow these steps, these basic debugging techniques that will definitely help you in your competitive programming, so to catch the errors in real quick time. Thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this as much as you can. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching.